the play-in tournament. So that did start last night in the East. But if we're going to be real about it and we're going to be honest about it, it honestly gets underway tonight. And that's not a West Coast bias thing or a West Coast is the best coast thing. That's just a fact thing. Because the NBA got exactly what they wanted with that play-in tournament. In fact, they got something even better than what they could have ever wanted. They got the Lakers and the Warriors getting it on tonight. So what's better than that? Ask anybody not named LeBron, and you'll get the answer. You got two of the biggest teams, not just in basketball, but in all of sports. The two teams that have won 4 of the last 6 titles, 2 of the best fan bases, and they can't stand each other. But then again, you know that's not the case. We don't give a damn about them. And I love Golden State. This is such an enormous Golden State house. You know that. But I'm talking about NoCal, SoCal. NoCal hates our guts. SoCal doesn't really care. But that aside for a minute, it's not just that. The thing that we do have is LeBron and Steph. Steph and LeBron, 2 of the best to ever play the game, and the league somehow lucks into these guys playing the 7-8 game tonight at Staples. 2 stars who have faced each other in 4 straight finals are back at it again, this time in a play-in tournament. It's incredible, right? The NBA literally could not have scripted that any better if they tried. Like, it's completely insane that after one of the most bizarre and chaotic seasons ever, that the league somehow ends up with LeBron and Steph in a one-game showdown. The team that you do not want to see in a 7-game series versus the team that you do not want to see in a one-game battle. A healthy Lakers team can grind you down. They'll beat you up, and they'll beat you down, and they'll dominate you in a long series. However, Steph Curry can shoot you the hell out of the building in 48. In the gold corner, you've got the LA Lakers, the defending champs, winners of 5 straight, the scariest team in the association when they're right and they're healthy, but they're still dinged. And that is a team that still nobody wants to see. The team that other teams work so hard to try to avoid. Again, respectfully, no names mentioned. The Clippers. The Clippers went out of their way to lose back-to-back games. Not only to lose back-to-back games, but back-to-back games to Houston and OKC in order to avoid being in the Lakers' half of the bracket. That's how intimidated and how scared that the Clippers were. Never mind that if the Lakers do lose tonight, they still end up in the Clippers' half of the bracket nonetheless. Then, in the blue corner, you've got Golden State. The 3-time champs, winners of 6 in a row, 8 of their last 9. Everybody gave up on them on draft night last year because that was the day that Klay Thompson tore his Achilles on his way back from a knee injury. That was the night that some dopes decided that Steph and Draymond just were not enough. That Steph was going to get exposed this season because he didn't get the help, wouldn't get the help and support that he needed from Klay and KD. And so what happened? My man goes supernova. He averages 32 per game. He wins the scoring title at age 33. This guy's averaging 37 a night in the month of May. I mean, what's up, Steph Curry?
Hey, Jim Rome.
Hey, Steph Curry.
Hey, Jim Rome.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, Jim Rome.
What's up, Steph Curry?
State Warriors. In case you forgot, I wanted to remind you of what the NBA is.
Man's game?
A man's game.
Hell yeah. Steph. Even though this dude has seemingly already done everything there is to do in this game, every time he steps on the floor now, there's still a good chance you're going to see something that you have never seen before. And the Lakers know this. As Kyle Kuzma said, quote, "We have appropriate fear," end quote. And they should. I'm not saying Golden State's a one-man team. I'm saying one man can actually win one game. And that one man is Steph Curry. Because if he gets cooking, look the hell out. Again, just because the Lakers did a good job on him during the regular season, just because Steph didn't get 30 on them during the regular season does not mean that he can't or won't get 50 tonight, because he can and he might. All right, so you got Steph in that corner. What about LeBron? How healthy is he? How is that ankle? The team says he's good, but we'll find out tonight. We'll find out legitimately tonight, just as we're going to find out how much Andre Drummond can do in this matchup. He's been averaging a double-double since joining the Lakers, but can he and Anthony Davis dominate in this game, or is Draymond going to start doing Draymond-type things and play them off the floor? Because you know Draymond is ready. Draymond told you all what he thinks about teams that try to run size. No matter what you were going to bring at this guy, I think that he had that answer locked and loaded. Any criticism, any question, anything at all. Just, I'm a straight mother bleeping dog. I love that so much. And I know a lot of you hate that guy so much. I love that so much. I'm a straight mother bleeping dog. I hear you, man. Let's be clear, though. As much as the Lakers are going to try to win this as a team, and they should, tonight is about Steph v. LeBron. It's about a rivalry that had been salty for years, but there's more and more respect of late. But don't get it twisted. Even though it's not a case of win or go home, you don't want to lose this game. Because the winner goes directly into the playoffs. The loser has to then play another game just to get into the playoffs. So the matchup that nobody saw coming is finally here. LeBron wanted guys fired over it. My man, embrace the suck. Because to everybody else, not named you, the suck is actually awesome. So we're in the play-in tournament. Normally, you would already be in. Of course, you know the deal. You've got to win another game to get in. As a format overall, what do you make of the play-in tournament?
It's probably more important what your listeners make of the tournament than what I do. I mean, we're part of the whole package of the NBA. I mean, we would be in a normal year, I guess I should say. So I guess it's great for the league, but normally we'd be in. But I like it. I do think it provides a level of excitement. It adds to more meaningful games. Towards the end of the season, there's a lot more jockeying for position. There's people trying to avoid these games. So if the goal is, which I think it should be, to add more meaning to the end of the regular season and provide kind of the win or go home NBA version that we get out of the NCAA tournament, and the reason why we like that so much, I think, is so much is on the line. This is the NBA's kind of mini little kind of win or go home situation. So I like it. I think the fans like it. I mean, you might know more than I do about that, but it adds a level of intrigue, and especially if you get kind of good matchups like we had tonight.
No, I appreciate that response, Bob. In fact, I appreciate it so much because you did not say, hey, listen, whoever came up with that idea should be fired like LeBron. But, Bob, I understand. Like, if you're the defending champs and you have to play your way into something that you've already been in, I get it. But to answer your question, yes, the fans like it. Most of the fans do like it. Now, you and I have talked in the past about how special this run over the last number of years has been. When you consider the obstacles and the challenges of this season, just how special has it been for you to watch Steph Curry and what he's done this year?
It's been pretty unique. He's I know the people listening know who he is and watched him plenty, but the difference that I get the gift I get, I should say, is to watch him every day and to kind of know him, and that's unique in life, to come across somebody that talented. And you know this, Jim. A lot of people that are hyper talented are kind of different. I mean, not in a good way. So the guy checks so many boxes: humility, leadership, team guy, family guy, a guy that gives back to the community, a guy that's socially conscious. So he's just, I'm lucky, man. If I could spend my whole career, or a big chunk of it, alongside that guy, I mean, what else can you ask for? And he's been tremendous. It's amazing to me how quickly people kind of wrote him off after last year, and they keep writing him off. But I know he's a prideful guy, like a lot of people with his level of ability and accomplishments. And what he's done is pretty remarkable. But he puts the time in. You know, if you were around our team and you watched, even when we had Clay, Steph, even when we had Kevin, these guys put the time in. You know, if there's young people that look at this guy and Steph, and sometimes it does look like he's just throwing the ball up in the air and it's going in, he puts the time in, and I wish people knew more about that. I know that because I see it, but he's reaping the benefits of a lot of hard work.
Bob Myers joining us. Bob, I would say, and I really appreciate that answer, I would say the thing that impresses me most about Steph, I mean, we know how dominant he is. We know that nobody can shoot the ball like Steph. But it's that thing that you mentioned at the very end, and I'm not around it. I don't see it day to day, but I'm blown away by this guy, and he doesn't get nearly enough credit for this, by his grit, by his toughness, by his grind, by his work ethic. People do not see the time that he puts in, but there's no way you come back from that injury and play the way he's playing at that age without some of his best running mates if you don't have all those intangible things, that amazing toughness and grit. Like, could you make the argument that as well as he's playing right now, that this might be his best year ever?
It has to be. It might be, which is remarkable, because I think as you age in any sport, your mind gets sharper. Your body does diminish, but sometimes with what these guys are doing now to take care of their bodies, through nutrition, through recovery work, got the best of the best. Guys are playing older, longer, and more effective longer. And you're seeing some guys, obviously LeBron, Tom Brady, Chris Paul. There's a lot of guys that are aging very well, and Steph seems to be in that category. But for him, the grit, you're right. It's what he has that he's two things that I'm envious of, if I'm being honest. And I tell him this too. One, he loves what he does. You can see it. You know why people like him so much? Obviously, the shot making. He enjoys it. And I tell him, I say, I wish I could have as much fun doing what I do as you do doing what you do. And granted, he's playing a game, but look, it's not easy. People think Steph just runs out. The pressure he faces, the scrutiny he faces, he hasn't had smooth sailing his entire life. He went to Davidson. He was a 7th pick. He had ankle injuries. It hasn't been automatic for him. Losing early, he's faced pressure. He's faced scrutiny. He's had a lot of critics. The things he has, he's got a joy for what he does, and he's got a very real self-confidence. It's very hard to make him feel insecure about his abilities. And the reason why is he puts the time in. So for anybody that puts the time in at what they do, they know that over time, if they've got talent and they got the work ethic, the cream will rise to the top. And he's got this self-confidence that's very real. And you know a lot of professional athletes, Jim. There's a difference between arrogance and self-confidence. It's very hard to be just confident in life. Not arrogant, just confident, real confidence. And he has that. Give his parents credit. You obviously give him credit. Give the people around him in his life. And I think that's what makes him so unique and good, that he has those things and has those traits.
Bob Myers joining us. Yeah, right. Not fake confidence. And the guy is so comfortable in his own skin. And I think, he's got a lot of God-given talent, but he's put in the time. We know that preparation breeds confidence. I'm amazed. I am literally, Bob, so amazed at what he's done this year. I want to ask you about Draymond Green. Draymond Green had maybe my favorite Draymond Green quote ever when he said recently, in fact, Sunday, post-game quote, "I'm a mother bleeping dog." Straight like that. I don't know how else to tell you. People have been going at me for years with centers. They've been going at us for years. That bleep ain't worked yet. We're dogs, so keep trying. End of quote. I mean, Draymond's had another huge year, Bob, doing things that nobody's ever done from that position, including a career high 9 assists. What do you make of what you've seen from him this year?
He's I love the guy. I really do. And that means I love all of them, because people listening, I bet half of them hate him. And there's times I've hated him too. I mean, we have a relationship. If you have a real relationship with somebody, there's times where they piss you off. If you have a real relationship with somebody, but that's honest and that's authentic. And I'd say the same thing to him, and he'd say the same thing to me. But I love the guy in the same breath because of his leadership, his commitment to winning. The guy wins, and I feel like in our game now, Jim, and maybe in sports, we celebrate the individual at such a high level in team sports, where the goal is to win. And that's what I respect about Draymond is he wins. He's won his whole life, and he leads. And I promise you, if you're around this guy, whether you like him or not, let's talk to the people on the line that are listening that don't. You would respect his leadership. You would. I'm telling you, if you're in a fight with this guy, you want him on your side. I've seen it for 10 years. I've seen it since he stepped into the NBA. I've been right next to him. So sometimes he rubs people the wrong way. I get it, and even organizationally, you get frustrated sometimes. But what he said about himself, it's hard to deny some of the belief he has in himself. He proves it. And he's won. The guy's won 3 championships. That is so hard to do. It's not easy to win championships in any sport. It's rigorous, it's hard, it's up and down, it's pressure, high leverage situations. He produces. I mean, you look at look at his numbers. Look at it, if people that like him or not. Look at his regular season numbers versus playoff numbers. That's when you find out something about a player. They all go up. Rebounds, points, assists, blocks, steals. A lot of players, Jim, in the regular season, they get numbers. When it comes to the postseason, they decline. And he's kind of the antithesis of that.